So hello and welcome to the new video on my channel. So today I am again making my World Cup 2026 predictions. So my first predictions I released after the group stage draw. So I still didn't know. We still didn't know all the teams that would be playing. Now we are after the playoffs just before the World Cup. So I'll be telling what I think might happen. So let's get down to it. Group A, Czechia, South Korea, Mexico and South Africa. So Czechia is currently I think in pretty good form. They got a draws in both playoff matches and they won on penalties, so they have shown that they are strong mentally and can deliver results when it matters. And also in the last two friendlies they beat Guatemala and Kosovo. Mexico as a host has a home advantage, and they were also pretty good in recent friendlies. Like they won 5-1 against Serbia. As for South Africa, they weren't in that good form. They won against Jamaica, but earlier they got only a draw against Nicaragua. And as for South Korea, they won against Salvador and Trinidad and Tobago, though earlier in March they registered two losses. So, yeah, I think Mexico is probably the favorite of this group, but it, it can go in each direction. So, what do I think? Mexico, South Africa, the same opening match as in 2010 World Cup. Okay, let's say 1. Korea, Czechia, 1, 2. Czechia, South Africa, 1, 1. Mexico, Korea, 2-0. And Czechia, Mexico, 1-3. South Africa, South Korea, 0-2. So Mexico wins the group, Czechia second, Korea third. Group B with another host, Canada. Yeah, probably Canada or Switzerland are the group favorites. Canada as it has home advantage. As for Switzerland, recently they won against Jordan and 2 against Australia. Bosnia in its friendlies registered 2 draws against Panama and North Macedonia. Canada also recently drawn against Ireland and earlier they won against Uzbekistan. And Qatar got a draw against Salvador and lost to Ireland in last matches. Uh, Canada has a home advantage. Switzerland seems to be the best team. So we will see how it goes. This group can also give us some surprises. Okay, so Canada, Bosnia. I think 2-1. Canada gets their first World Cup win in history. Qatar, Switzerland 0-4. Switzerland, Bosnia 2-2. Canada, Qatar 3-1. Switzerland, Canada 1-1. and Bosnia Qatar 2-1. So we finish with Canada on top, Switzerland second, and Bosnia third. Now to Group C, Brazil and Morocco seem to be favorites, as but Scotland was also in good form in recent friendlies. They won 4-1 against Curacao and 4-0 against Bolivia. Brazil won against Egypt and Panama. Haiti got recently a win 4-0 against New Zealand, but later they lost against Peru. And Morocco won against Burundi, then against Madagascar, and they got a draw against Norway. So, yeah, teams in this group seem to be in good form. Yeah, it begins with Brazil Morocco. So, probably a game for the first place in the group. But I'd say it finishes in a 2 draw. And can Haiti surprise Scotland? Yeah, I think 1-1 draw is possible. Then Scotland, Morocco 2-4. Brazil, Haiti 0. Scotland, Brazil 2-2. And Morocco, Haiti 3-0. So Morocco first, Brazil second, Scotland third. Group D with it's also pretty hard to predict. Each every of these teams has a chance to win this group and to finish last. So Turkey has been in pretty good form recently also. They won against Macedonia and Venezuela. Paraguay is good defensively, though they lost to Morocco in March, but in the last couple of days they won against Nicaragua 4-0. USA recently lost against Germany and earlier this year against Portugal and Belgium, but they managed to win against Senegal 3-2. And as for Australia, they lost against Mexico and drew against Switzerland in a recent friendlies. Yeah, so it's hard to predict. So USA, Paraguay, let's say 1-1. Australia, Turkey 1-3. Turkey, Paraguay 0-0. USA, Australia 2-2. Turkey, USA, let's say 3-2. And Paraguay, Australia, another draw. So that would put Turkey on top with Paraguay second with 3 draws and USA first. Now for Group E, there are three actually pretty good teams in this group, so it wouldn't be entirely surprising if Germany got eliminated in group stage for the third time in a row. But let's see, look at their recent form. Yeah, Germany actually won last couple of matches. Ecuador also won against Guatemala and Saudi Arabia, and earlier this year they got a draws against Netherlands and Morocco, and they have actually a really good defense. They lost only 5 goals in the qualifiers in 18 matches. Ivory Coast a couple of days ago won against France, so that's a good sign. and Curaçao lost against Scotland, but later won against Aruba. Yeah, Curaçao will have a really difficult time to get anything. Yeah, so let's start. Germany, Curaçao. Let's see. 3-1. Ivory Coast, Ecuador. 0-0. Ecuador, Curaçao. 2-0. Germany, Ivory Coast. 0-0. Ecuador, Germany. Yeah. 1-0. And Curaçao, Ivory Coast. 1-3. So that would put Ecuador first, Ivory Coast second, and Germany third. And now to the Group D, Group F, Japan, Netherlands, Sweden, and Tunisia. So Sweden recently got a draw against Greece and lost pretty decisively to Norway. Also, it is a football World Cup, not a diving World Cup, so I wouldn't say that Sweden has some big chances, some good chances of achieving much. Netherlands recently got a draw against Ecuador in March, and later, a couple of days ago, they lost to Algeria. So I wouldn't say that they are in their best form. As for Tunisia, they also lost decent matches against Austria and Belgium, and Japan won recently last couple of their matches against Scotland, England, Iceland. Last year they beat Brazil. So yeah, let's see how this group goes. Netherlands, Japan 1-2. Sweden, Tunisia 0-1. Tunisia, Japan 0-2. Netherlands, Sweden 2-1. Tunisia, Netherlands 0-2. Japan, Sweden 3-1. Let's see. So Japan wins the group, Netherlands second, Tunisia third. Group G, Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. Belgium recently won against Tunisia and Croatia. So, and we've scoring a lot of goals. Egypt won against Russia, lost against Brazil. Iran won their last couple of friendlies against Mali and Gambia. And New Zealand is currently losing everything. Like this year they only won against Chile. Yep. Though, as I said before, I don't think Belgium is actually as good as their FIFA ranking suggests. It just allows them to play against weaker teams. So, Belgium, Egypt 2-1. Iran, New Zealand 3-0. New Zealand, Egypt 2-2. Belgium, Iran 2-3. New Zealand, Belgium. Yeah, let's go for a surprise 2-1. And Egypt, Iran 2-2. So that would put Iran first, New Zealand second, and Belgium first. Now to the Group H, with Cabo Verde, Spain, who seem to be the favorites of the entire tournament, Saudi Arabia and Uruguay. So Spain, in their last match, they got a draw against Iraq. Earlier this year, they drawn against Egypt. Yeah. Uruguay got a draw against this year. They got a draw against Algeria and against England. Cabo Verde won against Bermuda and Serbia. So they seem to be in pretty good form actually. And Saudi Arabia won against Puerto Rico, but earlier they lost against Ecuador. So yeah. Spain, Cabo Verde. Let's say 2-1. Saudi Arabia, Uruguay 1-1. Uruguay, Cabo Verde 2-2. Yeah, it's worth mentioning that Cabo Verde isn't some weak team. Actually, they won a qualifying group against Cameroon. Spain, Saudi Arabia 2-0. Uruguay, Spain. Spain is already guaranteed the first place. So they could go with Uruguay. So 2-2. And Cabo Verde, Saudi Arabia 1-0. So that would put Spain first, Cabo Verde second, and Uruguay third. Group I with France, Iraq, Norway, and Senegal. So it wouldn't be entirely surprising if France finished third and even failed to get out of the group. Yeah. Norway was the best team in European qualifiers, and Senegal is the current champions of Africa. So yeah. And also France recently lost against Ivory Coast in a friendly. Norway at this time beat Sweden and they got a draw against Morocco. Senegal lost against the USA 3-2. And Iraq won against Andorra, though only 1-0, and then got a draw against Spain. Yeah, but it will be pretty hard for Iraq to get out of this group. So let's see. France, Senegal, let's say 1-2. Norway, Iraq for 1. Iraq, Senegal 1-3. France, Norway 2-2. Iraq, France 1-2. Senegal, Norway 2-3. So Norway would top the group with Senegal second and France third. Now to the group they with Algeria, Argentina, Austria, and Jordan, which for some reason doesn't start with an I. Yeah, Argentina were clearly the best team in South American qualifiers, and they won the last couple of friendlies. Algeria was is also in a pretty good form recently. They beat the Netherlands a couple of days ago, and in March they got a draw against Uruguay and won against Guatemala. Then Jordan recently lost against Switzerland and against Colombia. And Austria also won last couple of matches against Tunisia 1-0, South Korea 1-0. So Argentina, Algeria, I think this might finish in a 3-2. Austria, Jordan 1-0. Jordan, Algeria. Azerbaijan 3-2. Jordan are the last time Asian Cup finalists and Arab Cup finalists. So they appear to play good in tournaments, but not in friendlies. Then Argentina, Austria 2-1. Jordan, Argentina 1-3. And Algeria, Austria 2-0. So this would put Argentina first, Algeria second, and Jordan third in this group. Now, Group K. Congo, Colombia, Portugal, Uzbekistan. So apart from Portugal seeming appearing to be the favorite, it's hard to predict this group. They are all pretty evenly matched. Colombia recently won against Jordan and Costa Rica in a friendly. DR Congo got a draw against Denmark, but earlier in the playoffs, both African and Intercontinental, they shown that they are pretty hard to beat and they can win when it matters. As for Uzbekistan, they lost against Canada recently, but other than that, they have been in a pretty good form. And they finally managed to get to the World Cup after so many times being so close. And Portugal recently won against Chile, and earlier this year they won against the USA and drawn against Mexico. So Portugal, DR Congo 2-1. Uzbekistan, Colombia 1-1. Colombia, DR Congo 2-2. Portugal, Uzbekistan 3-1. Colombia, Portugal 1-2. And DR Congo, Uzbekistan 0-1. So that would put Portugal first, Uzbekistan second, and Colombia third. And now last group. So Croatia recently won against Slovenia, but lost against Belgium. England won against New Zealand in their last friendly match, but earlier this year they lost to Japan and drawn against Uruguay. Ghana got a draw against Wales, but earlier they lost against Mexico, and this year they also lost against Germany and Austria. And Panama oh, got a draw against Bosnia and Herzegovina, and that year they won against Dominicana. They lost to Brazil. So yeah, let's see how it goes. England, Croatia, let's say 1-2. I think Croatia is in a little better form, in a little bit better form right now. Ghana, Panama 1-3. Panama, Croatia 2-2. England, Ghana 3-0. Panama, England 1-4. And Croatia, Ghana 3-1. So Croatia would be first, England second, and Panama third. As for the third place teams, Germany, Bosnia and Herzegovina, France, Panama, Uruguay, Belgium, South Korea, and Jordan would advance to the knockout stage, with Tunisia, the USA, Colombia, and Scotland being eliminated. So now let's go to the knockout stage. Round of 32. Ecuador, South Korea, Ecuador, Norway, Belgium, Norway, Czechia, Switzerland, let's say Czechia, and Japan, Brazil, Japan, Uzbekistan, England. Yeah, unfortunately, this would be the end for Uzbekistan. Probably Spain, Algeria, Spain, Turkey, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Turkey, Iran, or Uruguay, probably Uruguay. Now, on the other side of the bracket, Morocco or Netherlands. Morocco, Ivory Coast or Senegal. Senegal are current champions of Africa. Mexico or Germany. Mexico with the home advantage. Croatia or France. France. Argentina, Cabo Verde. Yeah, Argentina is a little bit better. Paraguay or New Zealand. Paraguay. Canada or Jordan. Canada with home advantage. Portugal or Panama. Portugal. Now, round of 16. Ecuador or Norway. The really good defense or really good attack. Yeah, probably 0-0 or 1-1 draw, and let's say Ecuador on penalties. Japan or Czechia. Japan, England or Spain. Spain, as in the last Euro final. Turkey or Uruguay. Let's say Turkey. Now, Morocco or Senegal. Last time they faced each other in the Africa Cup of Nations final, and Senegal won that final and became the champions of Africa. Can they repeat it? Yeah, I'd say yes. Mexico or France. So I think this would be the end of Mexico. Argentina or Paraguay. Yeah, Argentina are currently the best in South America, and Canada or Portugal. Portugal. Now, quarterfinals. Japan or Ecuador. Japan, Spain or Turkey. Spain, Senegal or France. Hard to choose. Okay, let's go for an upset. This time, Senegal. And Argentina or Portugal. let's say Portugal. So first semi-final, Spain or Japan. Unfortunately, Spain and not Japan. And on this side, Portugal or Senegal. Portugal. So for the finals, third place match, Japan or Senegal. So Japan. And who will be the world champion? Hmm, hard to choose. Yeah, but I think Portugal might actually have a chance to win this. So let's say Portugal. So that was my final World Cup 2026 predictions. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.